Hello, St. Patrick's and friends of St. Patrick's. Hope you're having a great first week of December. I wanted to share something I've been reading in Judges. It's this sad kind of verse. Judges, there's this pattern with the Israelites where they follow the Lord for a little bit, then they abandon the Lord's ways, then they're oppressed by a people. The Lord gives them up to their desires, and then they regret it and they cry out to the Lord. And the Lord sends a judge to come and kind of rescue them. There's this one line where the Lord, this is in Judges chapter 6, where he tells them how he brought them out of a house of slavery and rescued them and gave them a land of promise. And then he says, but you did not obey my voice. Think about how heartbreaking that is, how heartrending that is for the people of God to hear those words. That God rescued them and gave them a land of promise and a new life and an inheritance they didn't have, nor did they have rights to. And yet they just abandoned it and became spiritually adulterous to God. Imagine standing there and asking for God's mercy and God's rescue and realizing the situation that you're in is of your own doing. What is that like? It's worse than being a beggar before the king. It's like being a criminal. It's like being a traitor and asking for the mercy of God. But in this Advent season, where we think about the coming of Christ into the world as good news, that truly is what it is, good news. That even to people who were at spiritual war with God and turned their backs on God, that it's good news for them too. That's the great story of Judges, and really the whole gospel is that God turns the beggars and the criminals and the traitors into children of God and children of our good King. And that is really what it means to have and hear good news. It's humbling to me, but it also makes me just want to worship him all the more and trust him no matter what happens in my life, because the good news that he's given me is truly the best news. There's nothing that I could have done to keep him from me. And it's not dependent on my ability to love him rightly or to follow his law. He just merely loves me. And that's the good news. And you can see it even in a book of Judges, which I just think is remarkable. I mentioned last week, I think it was last week, about how we were doing in our stewardship campaign, but I'm still kind of in awe of it all. I am excited about what our small little but mighty church has done and how all of you have stepped up and carried your portion of the burden, so to speak. Our stewardship campaign was a huge success. And as we grow towards independence, it's becoming clearer and clearer to me and to the staff and to the bishop and all the clergy that we are growing towards independence. So thank you and keep at it. I don't know everything that's in store for St. Patrick's in the coming months and years, but I think it's going to be full of promise and hope. And I am so eager to do more of God's work with you. So thank you all. Can't wait to see you Sunday. God bless.